The Honourable Member for Marakwet West. Honourable Toroitich.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to contribute on this very important piece of legislation. Honourable Speaker, from the onset, I wish to thank the Honourable Member, Owen Bayer, for proposing such a progressive piece of legislation. Honourable Speaker, one of the most fundamental acts of Parliament that was passed by this House is the National Land Commission. Honourable Speaker, this legislation was very important because one of the issues that it seeks to address is the issue of historical land injustice in this country. Honourable Speaker, this is a challenge that as a country we've faced since time immemorial, and we hoped that this commission will be able to address this issue once and for all. Honourable Speaker, it is unfortunate that the drafters of this particular legislation put some sunset clauses that set in serious clawbacks in terms of implementation of this particular legislation. Honourable Speaker, this commission was established under Section 67 of the Constitution, Article 67 of the Constitution. Honourable Speaker, that article provides very clearly under 67(1)(e) that this commission was to initiate that one could initiate a complaint into present or historical land injustice and recommend appropriate redress. Honourable Speaker, the unfortunate thing is that the sunset clause on 5 years meant that that injustice or that claim could not be processed if it was more than 5 years. Honourable Speaker, the proposed amendment to remove that 5 years clause, Honourable Speaker, means that any individual who has a claim can now raise that issue without the sunset clause of 5 years. Honourable Speaker, where I come from, for example, in my constituency, we've had issues with one of the lands, that is Chebororwa ATC farm. Honourable Speaker, we believe as a community, as a constituency, that that particular land was and is still under my constituency, which is Marakwet West. Honourable Speaker, we believe strongly that that land belongs to Elgeyo Marakwet County. How the same was transferred and located to Uasin County, Honourable Speaker, is a historical land injustice that if this issue is opened, if the 5-year term limit is reopened, Honourable Speaker, we as a community will be able to look at it and address it as a historical land injustice. Honourable Speaker, even in my constituency, there is a land in Kapsowar town which was taken and reallocated for purposes of administrative offices. Honourable Speaker, as we speak, that issue has not been addressed. Those who are moved from that parcel of land have not been paid, have not been compensated. Honourable Speaker, I strongly believe that extending the time for looking into historical land injustices will be able to address that particular issue. Honourable Speaker, the only issue that I would wish, and I will bring an amendment when it comes to the Committee of the Whole House, is that Honourable Owen Bayer could have set a timeline that this historical land injustice would be addressed. Honourable Speaker, my proposal is it should not take more than 1 year, because if it takes more than 5 years, then it also turns out to be an injustice if that matter is not addressed within a specific timeline. So, Honourable Speaker, I believe that when it comes to the Committee of the Whole House, I'll be able to move an amendment so that the time of addressing that issue is capped at a certain time limit. Honourable Speaker, I also support the amendment under 15.3 that, there is a provision of 15.11 of deleting 15.11, which provides very clearly that that section is capped at 11 years. Honourable Speaker, it was unfortunate that when this law was put in place, that section 15 would lapse after 11 years. Section 15 addressed the issue of historical land injustices. So, Honourable Speaker, if we remove that section, if we repeal that 15.11, it means now that historical land injustices in this country would not be time-bound. It could be looked at, it could be reviewed at any period of time without the capping of time of the 11 years. But Honorable Speaker, it is also important that as we look at this provision, we look at the issue of we review other statutes apart from this particular legislation, which has capped time to 5 years, so that historical land injustices would be addressed in a present case, in an historical case, so that time limit would not affect the issue of reviewing an historical injustice. Honorable Speaker, I wish to rest my case there. I support this proposed amendment, and I